Everybody. Welcome to our Career Academy session on career exploration. We are going to record this session. We are recording this session. So just to be aware in case that affects whether you'd like to be on video or not. And throughout the session, if you have questions, please feel free to unmute and ask them or throw them in the chat box and we will be keeping up with that. So my name is Lynn Leese. I am an Associate Director in Career and Professional Development, and I am presenting today with Mariana. And I'll ask you to introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mariana Yerby, and I am also an Associate Director. I work at the Manhattan campus, and I'm very excited to be doing this session today. Welcome.
So we wanted to start off with just a little information about Career Academy. So Mariana, I'll share if you wanted to go over that.
Yeah, let's go over that first. So if you don't know, this career workshop is part of a bigger series called Career Academy. We had this in the previous years as well, in person and online. This year, we have it remote only, and then it's showing us where it is on our website. We'll also put it in the chat. So there's 8 workshops, and some have already taken place. And if you attend 5 out of the 8, you can earn a badge, a career badge, and then get into the raffle to win an iPad. I believe it's an iPad.
Yes.
An iPad and a keyboard. So it's really cool. So I hope you all do it. You can watch the recordings of the previous sessions. We'll put a link to where you can watch those as well. And Lynn is kind of hovering around those as well. She's going to get to it. So you can always watch our previous sessions. And the main thing is that you fill out a survey after watching each one of the sessions. And after attending today, we'll put that link as well. So that is the way we track attendance, and that's the way you eventually get entered into the raffle. So make sure you fill out the survey. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to know all the right answers or anything. It's just a way that we track if we communicated the information properly and your attendance. So watch out for that, please.
Awesome. And then our next one, we also just wanted to let you know, our next one coming up is, nope, it's before this. Career Academy is preparing for virtual career fairs on October 13th. We have our Career Connections Day coming up on October 22nd. That is our virtual career fair that gives you opportunities to interact with employers online in a recruiting setting. And so this Career Academy on October 13th is all about how to navigate that. This will be our first virtual fair, so learning how to make sure you're navigating that and meeting the employers you want to meet is going to be really important. So that's our next one coming up. Awesome. So let's get started. So today we are talking about career exploration. So let's just jump in. Who are career explorers? What does that even mean to you? You can be an explorer at any point in time, and it can mean a lot of different things to different people. Some people in an exploration mode are completely unsure of their career path, or they might have a sense of their industry or their major, but they're still trying to figure out what role that means. Just because you're studying health science doesn't mean you necessarily know what within the realm of health and wellness or healthcare you necessarily want to do. So that requires some exploration as well. Some people are changing careers. So you might have embarked on a career trajectory and maybe halfway through are changing your mind, and that requires some deep thinking about what that means. Some people diversify their career portfolios. So some people start a career path and they go down that for a very long time, but at some point in the middle decide that they want to add to that something totally different. A great example of that is probably a lot of your faculty here at Mercy. Many people are working in their field and also teaching, and that's a way that they can add to their career portfolio. And whether any of these describe you, it may also mean that you're a member of our Career Explorer career community, which Mariana heads up. Did you want to say anything about that, or?
Yes, so the Career Explorer Career Community is new. We just started it this semester, and that includes people who are undecided, so you haven't yet chosen your major, and it also includes Spanish majors, English majors, math, and history. So if you're one of those, you are part of the Career Explorer Career Community, and we'll talk more later. You're probably already getting emails from me, but that's what that means.
Awesome. So you might be a career explorer because you're in the community, or you might just be somebody thinking about any of these decisions. I'd love to pose a question to our students in the room to see if any of these specific scenarios apply to you. And if you identify with any of these kind of exploration stages, if you wouldn't mind either saying something to us or chatting us about your situation, we'd love to hear it. And I'll also say, if you have any specific questions around that, again, please feel free to put them in the chat so we can make sure we answer them as we go. And Mariana, I will pitch in if you see anybody as we go.
Definitely.
Okay, so the common thread here, career explorers have big questions to answer and big decisions to make about their next career steps. So this is usually when you find yourself at a crossroads or with some big questions about what you're going to do. This can happen at any time in your career, as we talked about with that last slide. That could be right in the beginning. That could be as a freshman in college, or it could be 10, 20, 30 years into your career. These exploration questions come up at all times in our development. It happens in every major, so it's not discriminatory in that way, in any industry. Exploration happens at all different points in our lives, and really doesn't matter what industry or major we've studied. So you could be an explorer now, or you could be totally decided right now and a little while from now be exploring again. I love to talk about this a little bit with my own path, and I know everyone in the room probably has their own as well. I was decided in my career path since I was about 12 years old. I knew what I wanted to do, and halfway through grad school, I became an explorer again. I had a major crisis of career and had to change entirely. And I landed here in higher ed with you all, which is wonderful and the right decision. But these things come up at any point. So wherever you are, if you're exploring and that's why you're here today, that's great, and we're here to help. Exploration, learning how to do it really well, is a skill that will benefit you for life. So the activities and exercises and questions you ask yourself can help you with a lot of different things, not just answering those questions. You can pinpoint your career priorities. At some points in your life, something like income might be the main priority for your career, and at other points it might be something like work-life balance, or there may be something specific that you want to learn about yourself or grow in your profession. So at different times you can sort of pinpoint what those priorities are for you. Recognizing what will be fulfilling to you in your job. There are all kinds of different roles in the world, and they do different things for us. They fulfill different values and interests and passions. And that will also help you identify your niche. So again, if you're thinking, I'm interested in law, what kind of a role do you want to play in a legal field? And what kind of law would you want to practice? All of those things are big questions to answer, right? And then later down the line, these can also help you analyze your job satisfaction and performance. We're going to talk a little bit about the different questions you can ask yourself, but if you are someone who starts working in a job and at some point finds yourself dissatisfied, or ready to move on or ready to move up, knowing how to analyze what exactly that is not satisfying to you anymore and trying to make a change, that requires a really specific skill set, knowing what you have to analyze. I often find that people find themselves unsatisfied in a job because they've taken on a lot of things at work that they're very good at, but maybe not what they want to be doing, right? We all put on lots of different hats at work. And over time, sometimes those are things that we have a skill to contribute, but we're not really excited about. And again, knowing how to figure that out for yourself is a huge skill that will help you. And then also, as you might need to adapt, you know, we're in a pandemic right now. The nature of workforce is changing dramatically. It will probably change dramatically in many ways permanently or for a very long time. And even when we're not in that kind of a crisis, the workforce changes all the time. Technology changes things. New kinds of jobs come up all the time. And so understanding what's out there and how it can fulfill your interests and how you can fit in with your skill sets is a huge asset to you. So these are skills that will last you a lifetime regardless. So your strategy for doing this, and we're going to talk you through some of this, it starts with questions, right? You ask yourself at the top there a big question. Your next phase is researching, and the specific kind of research we mean here is identifying the tools at your disposal to help you answer those questions. What kind of exercises, resources do you have, people do you have in your network that can help you? The learning phase is where you use those resources and do as much research into the information available to you. So that might be you know, reading, or it might be experiencing, and Mariana is going to tell you more about what those could look like. From there, you'll make a plan. I really want to emphasize that planning phase. It's great to experiment with different things, but knowing exactly what you want to try and what you plan to get out of it is a big thing. Then you're going to act. So acting looks like, you know, trying something new or just acting upon that information. Again, Mariana is going to take you through better examples. And then once you take action, you're going to evaluate. If that action was right, if it helped you answer the question, and if you're ready to move on to the next question, or if you need to go back and try again. So we're asking, we're researching our tools, we're learning information, we're making a plan, and then taking action. Then we're evaluating that and starting all over again for the rest of our lives. So that's your cycle. And Mariana's going to get you started.
Thank you so much, Lynn. That was great. So that's how we are thinking about career exploration. And one thing to be really clear is that we encourage you to constantly be exploring, right? Maybe you're okay for a while, and you know, we want you to be happy in what you're doing, but there's always going to be change, right? Whether it's external changes like we're facing right now, or something internal, or different family situations, different life situations. This is something that goes on, and we shouldn't be scared of it or apprehensive. This is something that's healthy, and we want to keep evolving, right? Exploring and evolving. So let's get started. The first thing, if we're actually going to go through this wheel that Lynn mentioned earlier, is thinking about what you have and who you are professionally, right? So what are your skills, your interests, and your strengths? You may have a great sense of what those are, or you maybe have heard things in the past about you that you know are true, or maybe, you know, again, you've had mentors or teachers or professors tell you what you're good at and what your strengths are. Or maybe you're not really sure. You know you do some things well, but you're not really sure what those things are or how to express it. So we have, there's tons of different things you could be doing to figure that out. But the one that we want you to focus on, of course, the name of it is Focus 2. The one we want you to start with is called Focus 2, and that's on our website. Maybe Lynn can put the link to where it is on our website, if you don't mind, Lynn. It's a self-assessment tool, and it's one that we highly recommend because it was designed specifically for college level students. So this is not something where you need 25 years experience in order to get an effective result. This is for somebody like you. So what it does is you answer some questions. It's all about you. There's no right or wrong. It's actually really fun to answer because it's all about you. So it's kind of fun to talk about yourself and to think about yourself in this way. It's all multiple choice, quite easy. It's about 15 minutes. And the one we recommend you start with is called Work Assessment Form, and I'll show you the example on the next slide. But this will get you a really good starting point about what your skills and your strengths are. So this helps you start off with what you enjoy, and if you answer it truthfully, it does sound like you, and it will be reflective of who you are. So you have a starting point, you have a skill set, and you have your interest and your qualification. Then we can start thinking also about what are the skills that you already have that you've developed in different experiences, and it could have been could have been in previous jobs or volunteer or internships. What are these skills that you have that can transfer over to your future job or career? So that's something we'll help you with as well, and we'll show you where. And then once you gather all that, you have a better sense of what you have to offer and what you already have to count on. And then you can start talking to one of us or another qualified mentor. Can move on, Lynn. So this is what I was talking about, the work interest assessment on Focus 2. This is what will result from that assessment. And as I said, this is based on the Holland theory of personality for any psych majors out there. And it gives you this inventory of what you're strongest in terms, again, of these very specific qualifications in terms of your career. So for me, this is just an example. This is mine. The things I value the most are artistic, investigative, and social. These are the values. So knowing that, I already know what type of careers I'm looking for and what type of careers are going to be fulfilling to me. This varies, by people, by different people, and in different dimensions, right? We all have, to some extent, we all have all of these, right? But we're strongest usually in 3 of them. So again, if you answer it truthfully, it will sound just like you. But it gives you not just, okay, great, I'm artistic and inventive, but I value those things, but what does that mean in terms of your career? So what do people who answer this like me, what kind of careers do they go into, and are they satisfied in? So that's the more useful part of this, not just this is your personality, but this is how it relates to your career. So it's really, really cool. We love it, and I hope you start off there. Go on. All right, so transferable skills you probably have heard about in the past, but it's kind of hard to figure out what those are if you don't even know what to call them, right? Like we've all maybe done a lot of administrative things, we've done a lot of organizing. If you were part of any club in high school or now, you've done many other things, maybe budgeting, who knows, a lot of different things, and I'm sure you all have a great variety of these skills. But we have devised a workbook where you actually answer a few questions and you get to these examples of these transferable skills that you can, again, put down in your inventory and know that you have them for the careers that you're looking for in the future. All right. Lynn, you can move on. Then what do you do with these results? So you got your self-assessment, you have your transferable skills. So the first thing we recommend is, now that you have a clearer sense, attend our events and workshops. So Lynn just mentioned, of course, these Career Academy workshops are Virtual Career Connections Day, which is similar to a career fair, an online career fair. The other thing, one second.
I'm coming back. Sorry, a little
We're
technical
coming.
difficulty. I'll be right back with it.
No problem. Attend our events. Applying for internships, I think it's the second one. So the other thing we recommend is applying for opportunities. It could be internships, it could be volunteer opportunities. It could also be, we have a new thing, and it's on our website too, which are micro internships, which are really, really cool and very practical because they're short-term projects. They're all paid, and we have a link there to where to find them. They're called Micro Dewey internships. I'm sorry, Parker Dewey, Micro Dewey. Parker Dewey internships, and we have the link right there on our website. We'll show you where. And they're short-term projects, they're paid, and you get experience working in these organizations, helping with projects, not a full-time commitment of 6 months or a year, or not even 3 months. Some of them are a couple of weeks. And again, you get paid and you get to use those skills and test out whether that's something that's enjoyable for you or not at all. Network, of course, you've heard that a million times, but we'll say it again. It's always a good idea to network and talk to people who are in fields that you might be considering or in jobs that you might be thinking about going into. The easiest way is to start with Mercy alumni. People are happy to give back and to offer their advice and help each other. So that's the best way. You can just look for Mercy alum on LinkedIn and start a conversation that way. And through that, you can also conduct informational interviews. It's kind of linked to networking. So it's just basically asking people about their roles, their organizations, and any advice on how they got there and what would they do if they were in a position like yours. Again, people are happy to give you advice and you've got nothing to lose. Next, Lynn, please. All right, so as we said before with this wheel, and we'll show you the wheel again of our strategy that we recommend for this, you learn about your fields of interest, your potential fields of interest. You learn about different job titles, different organizations that can combine your interests, where you can use your skills. It could be also professional associations, clubs. We have a listing here. This is going to be recorded, as I said, and it's going to be on our website. So you'll have all these links to clubs at Mercy and outside where you can explore these interests with people like you. And then we recommend you apply for opportunities where you'll be able to actually experience and get experience in these fields and test it out. And then you're going to evaluate, okay, how did that feel? What did I think about that experience? Was it what I thought? And am I really excited about it? Or not at all? I want to not go down that path. Let me think of something else. This is the time for you to be doing this and practicing how to do this so that later in your career, you can do it again and you're not going to be scared about this process and you'll know what the cycle is and how to manage it. So evaluating is the last one. And go ahead, Lynn. So again, the wheel that we came up with, our strategy. First, you ask yourself the question, what you want to do, what is it that you're thinking about, what you're unsure about in your career, what you're uncertain about. Then you research, you start reading, you start joining organizations, you start figuring out kind of a plan of where to begin. Then you learn about all these resources, you read, you join the organizations, then you plan, what am I going to do? Am I going to volunteer? Am I going to join a professional association? Am I going to do an informational interview? You don't have to do all of it. You can focus on a few and then act. So act, apply for the internship, apply for the part-time project, whatever it is, do it, and then evaluate. How did that feel? How did that go? Was it what I thought, or no way, I'm happy to not go down that path. Thank God I tried it, but I'm not going down that path. And then you start again. So you either, by evaluating, you either confirm or you redirect. But this is very healthy because you don't want to go down a path and be there for 20 years without reassessing, right? So you got to make sure that you're constantly going through it, or well, as much as you want to and as you feel like you need to, and not be scared to redirect and figure something that's more of a fit for you.
Both sides?
Totally. And I'll jump in. So like an example, if you were to go through this process, let's say you're a media major, graphic design, let's say, and you're trying to decide between something really creative, like do I want to maybe work in comics, or you're thinking about something more businessy like marketing, because graphic design can take you in so many directions. But let's say you're thinking about something like comics or entertainment and something like marketing and logo design. So you'd research the tools at your disposal, and in this case, maybe it becomes a possibility for you to shadow or interview a comic artist, and you also find out that you could do an internship in graphic design for a marketing firm. So those are the tools at your disposal. You would learn about how to do those things and what they would help you with. You'd make a plan to both interview that comic artist and do that internship or start applying for those internships. The action there would be executing on both of those things. And then the evaluation would be that reflection. After I talked to this comic artist and after I did this internship, did one of those call to me? Do I have more questions? But hopefully that starts to narrow things down for you. And that's, you may decide then that you need to go through more learning, or that you've actually made a decision from those things. And if there's anything I think we could emphasize here at every stage of the way, it's so highly reflective. I think that was so apparent, Mariana, as you were going through tools too. It's so highly reflective. And going through that, you know, reflecting on your own is really important. I would also really encourage you to process that with people in your life that would make sense. So your faculty are wonderful sounding boards for that. Obviously, the career coaches here are people who can process, you know, formally process those results if you take an assessment, but also just kind of bounce ideas off. Your PACT mentors are great for this. I'm sure you've got family and friends and other professionals in your life. So, you know, consider reflecting and getting information from all angles. But, you know, it's not only important for you to take that time, but it really actually solidifies the information that you've learned to do that reflection with yourself and with other people. So we'll stop and see what questions there are in the room. If you've got specific stories and where you are in your exploration that, you know, you'd like to share with us. And Mariana also has links here to the survey. We'll put that in the chat as well. You know, just to reemphasize from her earlier statement, being in the room with us is amazing and we're so glad you're here, but to count your attendance for today, especially if you're going for that badge or that raffle for the iPad, you do need to still complete today's survey. So we're here, we're hanging out if you have anything you want to chat about.
Thank you, Lynn. Yes, so don't forget to fill out the survey, as Lynn just said. I just put it in the chat box as well. You can also scan this QR code and it'll take you there on your phone right now. Yeah, that will take attendance. And then please ask us whatever you want. There's no wrong place to be in, or there's no bad questions here.
Hello?
It's all a process. Hi.
Yeah, I wanted to know, because I have also registered for the other events, right? And I didn't get like something like this, like the survey. Like how do I get, because I've been registering for a lot of these events and I try to do like the survey, but they don't give me it. Like they don't give me the like the code, I guess. I don't know. But
Sure. We'll I want to leave this up for a few minutes just to make sure everybody can find what they need, but we'll take you back to the website to show you exactly where to find the survey for each session.
okay, thank you.
Sure. So I know you may all be filling out this survey. I'm curious if this helped, you know, if anybody came because they are at a point of exploration, and if this helped give you some direction, if you still have questions or anything we can help with at this point.
Well, I'll say one other thing about part of exploring is learning, right, as we covered. So please don't forget to register and sign up for our virtual Career Connections Day, which is like a career fair, but virtual. That's a great way really to learn about different opportunities, different organizations, different jobs that we might not even know exist. So it's a really great opportunity for everyone. I'm going to put the link on our chat as well. And before that, I know it's probably the first time for a lot of us to be in a virtual career fair. We have another workshop just like this one about how to actually navigate a virtual career fair. So I recommend you try to attend it or watch it later. So you get a really good experience, but what better way than already starting to chat with employers, getting your questions answered, and just seeing what's out there, how it feels, and what you think about opportunities. Even if you're not looking for something immediately, let's start exploring, right? And start seeing what's possible for you.
Looks like there's a question in the chat from Frank, who says he has questions about internships. Frank, do you have a specific question about internships, or was it answered?
Oh, I heard something about, yeah, so I'm Frank. Yeah, so I heard about internships, like micro internships, and I'm interested in that because I'm a permanent resident. So I don't know how like you can get paid for those things, or like how you can get some credit or stuff like that. So I'm still new to that, so I have questions.
All right. Lynn, you want to take it or should I?
Whatever
Oh.
you'd prefer.
Well, Sam jumped on it. Sam, thank you so much.
Sorry.
It's great. So thanks to our colleague Sam, who just put the link right on our chat. Frank, this is the link where you, oh, Lynn, do you mind opening the link and actually screen sharing so that we can
Sure.
take Frank and everyone through it? I think that would be easier. Sam, do you mind putting the Virtual Career Connections Day RSVP link too? now
Sure,
that
yeah, I'll
you've-
grab that.
Thank you so much. So Frank, these are, as you got, quick, well, not quick, but short-term projects, short-term internships. They're all paid and they are meant again for you to get experience and to apply your skills and learn more about whether that's something, again, that you're very excited about and you definitely want to continue on that path, or if you want to rethink your path. So if you go on the website that, again, Sam put on our chat, it's called Parker Dewey, and Lynn has it there in the middle. So you click on it, you create an account, create a free account with your Mercy email. And I guess, Lynn, do you mind navigating through it a little bit since you're in there?
Yeah, you know what? I don't have an account set up yet, so I don't know how much you want to look at, but
That's it. It's okay. Yeah, just scroll down.
Read about, yeah.
Yeah, so you create your free account. It's super easy. And then you basically just filter through opportunities. You filter through what skills you have, the time frame you have, and you start seeing the projects that are advertised, and you just upload your resume and send it to the employer. It's really easy, and it also tells you, and as I said, it tells you the time that that it will go for, so that you know what you're getting in for, and also the pay rate, so you get it all right there. I highly recommend you do that, but before you do any of that or you attend the career fair, make sure you meet with one of us so that we can review your resume, make sure it looks the best it can, so that you do get all these amazing opportunities. And you can email us at cpd@mercy.edu, and one of us will review your resume. Does that help?
You know, to your question about permanent residency, so what ends up happening is when you apply to, specifically on the micro internship platform, when you apply, if you're hired, Parker Dewey is the company that posts for the employers and actually ends up hiring you. So you don't have to work with each individual company's requirements. And my understanding is that if you're authorized to work, that you shouldn't have an issue. But I am just double checking on the FAQ if I see anything. And that is something you could do down here as well, just in their frequently asked questions, or you know, if you wanted to double check, we could certainly reach out. But as long as you're authorized to work in the US, you shouldn't have an issue. I saw someone else mention they have questions about internships. Did that cover what you were looking for? Are there other questions about internships we can answer for you? Okay, in the chat, we said yes, we covered it. Great. Okay, so while I'm on the site, we'll just also take you back to, so the main site is Career.mercy.edu, and under next steps, you'll see attend events and workshops. This is where we are putting the recordings of all of our Career Academy sessions. So you'll see once a session passes, we will add the video, and under each video, you'll see a survey. A link for it, and that should be all you need to you know, to demonstrate that you attended that session. So if you missed the survey in the session, or for some reason it wasn't shared, that's how you can find it.
Yeah, Frank, there's a code at the end of each of the sessions. The only one that doesn't have a code is the one done by ISIMS. So Lynn, if you scroll a little bit further up, please. Up.
Oh, up.
Yeah, sorry. Career Academy applicant tracking systems, that one doesn't have a code. The rest of them all have a code, like the one we just shared today. So just if it has that question, it's only for items, you just say no code. Just put that in. It shouldn't have that question, but if it's there, just say no code. The rest, we have a code at the end of each of the presentations. There's a code like the one we had today, which is some weird combination of letters or numbers, and you just have to enter that. That's all.
I didn't get the code. I just missed the code.
For the one today, you mean? Oh,
Yeah.
Lynn, if you don't mind going back
We
to
can put
the,
it back up. Do you
to
see? I
the-
just wanted to point out what you need to do is get into the actual presentation and play it or scroll to the end for each code in the past ones. For today,
there we go.
Okay. Is the last after bit ly? Is it the code? The two. Hello.
the code is at the top of the page. So
Oh my!
the bit.ly
missed
link
it.
is what you'll want to go to in your browser, but that AZASAR is the code you're looking for.
Okay, my chat was blocking. Okay.
Oh yeah, I know my video panel is almost covering it too.
Okay. I'm gonna take a picture of.
Yeah, just put your phone on it and it'll take you directly. You mean the bit.ly, or take a picture of this and you'll get the code.
There you.
Great. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. We hope you got something out of it, and we look forward to seeing you in our next sessions and hopefully our Career Connections Day as well.
Thank you, everyone. Please email us your resume before Career Connections, before anything, so we make sure it looks amazing for all these upcoming events. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Bye.